When the name Mojtaba Khamenei surfaced as Iran's new supreme leader, the global reaction was severe. U.S. political figures met the announcement with instant rejection and immediate threats. To the Iranian public, the man is practically a ghost. He hasn't maintained a major media presence in 15 years, leaving a massive public vacuum. But behind closed doors, Western intelligence agencies like the CIA and Mossad know exactly who he is and view him as a highly dangerous entity. His father, Ali Khamenei, ruled as a religious scholar who banned the development of nuclear weapons. The new leader is a shadowy, battle-hardened military commander. The rise of this regime is rooted in a 50-year divergence, a path where the son's choices turned away from his father's, towards something much more volatile. The story begins half a century ago, when Ayatollah Khomeini overthrew the dictatorship of the Shah of Iran to establish a new Islamic republic. Western superpowers immediately pushed back against the new government. They backed an invasion by a neighboring leader, Iraq's Saddam Hussein, triggering a brutal 8-year war. During that conflict, Ali Khamenei rose through the political ranks to become Iran's president. Meanwhile, his 12-year-old son Mojtaba grew up entirely surrounded by the violence of the invasion. At age 17, Mojtaba made a revealing choice. Rejecting the safety and privilege of his father's political status, he enlisted as a regular infantryman, fighting deep inside Iraqi territory. His foundational worldview formed right there in the dirt, relying on the survival instincts of a frontline soldier, rather than the religious studies of a scholar. When Khamenei died, succession fell to the Assembly of Experts, a bureaucratic body of 86 religious scholars choosing the next supreme leader. 70% of those clerics voted for Ali Khamenei. The regime built authority on religious doctrine instead of raw military might. Mojtaba didn't follow his father to the pulpit. For the next decade, he kept his military uniform, building deep loyalty and influence within Iran's highly trained armed forces. Tensions soon escalated next door. The U.S. invaded Iraq over false claims of weapons of mass destruction and immediately began accusing Iran of building its own nuclear bomb. To de-escalate the crisis, Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei issued a strict fatwa, a binding religious ruling, declaring the creation of nuclear weapons to be haram, completely forbidden in Islam. But 20-year-old intelligence documents released by WikiLeaks exposed a massive internal rift. Mojtaba actually supported the radical factions who wanted the bomb, tipping off Western intelligence to his true power. For 2 decades, the West engaged diplomatically with an anti-nuclear scholar, entirely oblivious to the pro-nuclear military powerhouse quietly consolidating absolute control right beneath him. That fragile dynamic shattered when the US and Israel finally launched direct, devastating military strikes against Iran's nuclear infrastructure. The personal fallout was catastrophic. Within a matter of days, the strikes killed Mojtaba's father, his mother, his wife, and his young son. The attacks created an immediate power vacuum. Facing ruin, the Iranian public desperately demanded a strong, uncompromising protector who could retaliate against Western forces. Despite direct assassination threats from Israel and the US, 88 religious scholars convened and elected the surviving Mojtaba as the new supreme leader. Unconstrained by his father's decrees, Mojtaba exercises unchecked control over the military and nuclear program. By forcefully neutralizing Iran's nuclear threat, the West wiped out a moderating scholar, handing absolute power to a grieving warrior with nuclear ambitions and absolutely nothing left to lose.